here live in studio on May 15th. So listeners can come down to our studio.
Are we going to be live too?
No, we'll be pre-recorded, but
Okay.
Phil will be live.
All right.
So we'll all be live.
Fuck a wise ass, huh?
On May 15th, Paul Joyle and Phil Zanke will be here
The
in studio.
dynamic duel.
That's right. That's right. And I'm told Phil is going to potentially maybe announce a new cigar.
Let's put it this
maybe?
way. Pay attention when he comes
Yeah.
on. There's going to be a lot of news, a lot of big
You
news.
want to? You definitely want to tune into that episode if you're in the Rhode Island area.
Yes, there's going to be some new news.
Put yourself in the Rhode Island area for that. Come down to the studio.
Yep.
We may or may not be offering a special discount code on on
Yes,
Debonair cigars on that day too.
yes.
It's going to be a
Yep.
very special event. I'm looking forward to it so
one.
much.
Me too.
I get to see Mr. Phil Zanke again, who's just an awesome person
First
to talk
degree.
to.
Oh,
He'll be in.
I'm not supposed to say that.
He'll be live in the studio, and I'll be talking about some Debonair cigars on this show as well. So, Phil will also be in Connecticut on May 8th, but you want to come here to Rhode Island.
Yep, he's going.
He's
He'll be
got
in
a
Worcester.
big swing through New England.
Yeah.
Right, he's going up to Worcester
May 9th, he'll be
Saturday.
in New Hampshire on May 9th at Castro's. May 10th, he'll be at a cigar dinner at the Lanham Club. May 17th, he'll be in Worcester. So if you're in New England, pay attention. He will be around.
And the bellies are flying off the shelf. Mr. Ken Horn and me are just knocking those out.
The bellies, really?
Oh,
I won't spoil it, but the belly was not the one that I liked the best.
that's because.
Not to say that I didn't like it, but
No, that's cool. Hey, that's why you have different Vitolas with different people.
that's right. Exactly. That's why you have multiple
Nothing.
Vitolas. All right.
Right.
I'm going to start with Mark Jr. to my right, and I'm going to try and go around so I don't lose track like I always do. But I'm still going to lose track, so I'm just preparing you for that. What you been smoking, Mr. Mark Jr.?
So the first thing that I put up was two cigars. Actually, I smoked two Fuentes back to back the other day at Mr. J's. As a matter of fact, I smoked an Añejo 46, which I bought for my father-in-law on Christmas of 2010. So they're not short on age. That's a 5 and 5/6 by 46 Corona. I don't think I'm telling anybody anything about that cigar. The other one was the Hemingway Sun-Grown Rosado Signature.
Ugh.
Now, this is the one that, Paul, you brought back for me from
Casa Fuente.
Casa Fuente. Right. So that's been over a year now at least, too, right?
Yeah, I'll be going back there in August.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so
Me
it's
and
probably a
Cooper
little
going
bit
there in
less than
July.
a year, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a 6 by 47 Perfecto Ecuadorian Sun-Grown Rosado wrapper binder Philly Dominican. These are really two very different cigars, but they're sort of my favorites when it comes to Fuente. The Añejo really has aged very well over the past 3.5 years. Cocoa, pepper, dark fruit sweetness, spice. The Hemingway Rosado, on the other hand, is a very different cigar. It's a much milder cigar, although it's probably medium. Would you
At
say?
best.
Yeah, mild to
best.
medium. It depends on how much
Mild
age
to
they have
medium?
on
Yeah.
it.
All right. It had a nice, slight earthy flavor with a syrup, like a simple syrup sweetness to it almost, and a ton of cedar. I thought that was the predominant flavor to me.
And those come with a cedar sleeve on them.
They do.
It's interesting. I think it's the
You
only.
take the sleeve off and you smoke it, right?
Oh,
I
really?
did.
Shit, I didn't know that.
I think it's
Why
the
didn't
only.
you tell me? I was with you, dude.
I think it's the only Vitola in the Hemingway line that comes with a cedar sleeve on it that I've ever seen.
Well, I think all the Rosados.
All the
do.
Rosados. I
All-
thought that.
so the
yeah, 'cause
Rosados
The
will have
signatures
the signature
and the
and-
classic.
But a
and the
Hemingway,
classic.
Maduro, or Cameroon does not have a cedar sleeve,
No, it does
but the
not.
Rosado does.
It does.
That was
Right.
my point.
Yes, which is unlike the 858, which the Sun-Grown and the Rosado both
Both
come
have
in
the
it.
cedar sleeve.
Right.
But the Sun-Grown Hemingways
can't
didn't
get
come
this
with the
thing up
cedar
to my
sleeve.
Interesting.
Both of these cigars are like box worthy in my opinion. All day.
I think that's
Oh,
Oasis.
that's Oasis for me.
Oasis all day long.
All day long.
Yep. Because, the
Oasis.
two different. Oh, and the Rosado,
The Rosado?
Oasis all day.
Oasis.
Think
Oh,
so?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Añejo.
I'm very stingy with the Oasis. I think I'm more stingy than you guys with the Oasis.
I don't know.
Don't be so uptight.
Whatever. That's fine.
I am a tightwad when it comes to
I
the
am too.
Oasis.
Me too, but I don't have many Oasis. Many of them. That one is. I can't help it. I just think
You know-
that's hands down phenomenal.
See, I sort of like the the A58 better than this.
Wow.
The A58 Rosado Sungrown.
I don't know. It's two different, because the strength level on that.
The A58 is much more.
Oh, it's got more pop.
It's got a little more pop to it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So whatever.
That was me, number
Yep.
1.
So Santa, back to you.
Yes, I believe Mr. Will Cooper was kind enough to send me up a Malete Lancero.
I want to hear about this.
7x40. All I got.
Wait, I'm sorry. What is the Malete?
The House of Emilio.
Okay.
It's La Musa.
La Musa Malete.
Okay.
As the wrapper bind and fill is Nika. That's all I got out of that. Maybe you can elaborate more on that, Coop.
He's like, hang on, let me do a quick Google search.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
I
Okay.
I don't think Gary's disclosed a lot about that.
No.
No, he's kind of tight-lipped about his blends.
The first of this cigar, like for instance, the dry draw was a lot with the cigar that I smoked. I got a nice little coffee raisin flavor off the dry draw. The first third, I got that subtle coffee flavor with a nice creamy feel to it on the palate, and a little bit of citrus, not as much as like the Robusto. The Robusto, I got more citrus flavor off that. Then I moved in the second half of the cigar. I picked up some nice spice on the retrohale, and I got a nice perfect balance of like a coffee and that raisin sweetness. I picked that on that. And then it still had that little lingering citrus flavor, and the balance was great. Then what happened, I had the Paul syndrome. I hit a construction problem with the cigar, which I'm sure it doesn't happen very often. I'm pretty sure of that. I had to relight the cigar about 3 or 4 times. It went out, and unfortunately, I wish this didn't happen because something tells me this cigar would have been short of spectacular. Because the first 2/3 of the cigar were really good, really, really good. And at this point, I could see it being a box-worthy cigar, but I can't say that now because I never smoked the whole cigar. Unfortunately, from what I've been told, the people that have smoked this had nothing but great constructions. It's a Lancero. Things happen. It's a hand-rolled cigar. It doesn't happen often, but in this one in particular, it did. But that being said, it was the first 2/3 of the cigar was phenomenal, but unfortunately, it was
I sent
not.
those right to your house. I didn't send them to Paul for a reason.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's it. I opened it up and I saw what the problem was, but there's no big deal. It happens. It is what it is.
It happens. Yeah.
It's not to
Where did-
discount the cigar
I
at
don't know
all.
where expert Steve went, but have you guys smoked the Viaje Zombie or read about the Viaje Zombie release yet?
Read about him. I haven't smoked him.
No,
There's some
I haven't.
reports of some tough construction issues. Did you guys read that too?
I haven't really followed anything about the zombie, to be honest with you.
Here's
I
expert
saw
Steve.
one person say that.
Yeah, so expert Steve smoked the red
The red
zombie.
zombie and
Yeah, and he said that he's like the construction and drawing this is awesome. So obviously
sauce.
that's because he smoked it and not me, apparently.
When
but-
you fire one up, it's the construction's
It's
gonna
gonna be
shit on
terrible.
you, dude.
it's
I'm like quality control for all these manufacturers.
Oh, it is. I never seen anybody as unlucky as if there's a bad cigar in that bunch.
It's
It
me.
could be 1%. You are the king. That's
I'm
why I
the
call
1%.
it. The new word is Paul syndrome.
The 1%.
Paul, maybe I can pick one for you, and then you can take it. It'll
Maybe.
be for me, and then you can steal it.
Yeah, so you're gonna choose I'm gonna probably smoke the Viaje Zombie next. So I want you to choose
Now,
choose me
Coop,
a
did you
red.
get any raisin sweetness off that at all?
On the Lancero,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, it was. It reminded me of something. It was just really
I didn't
nice.
I didn't get it on the Robusto.
No,
but I
no,
got it on,
totally
I got it on
different.
Lancero.
Yeah, I think the citrus level was switched over too. The
Yeah,
Robusto.
It was more citrus on the Robusto.
I'm looking at Ken in the audience here. The Robusto I like better than the Toro. What do you think?
I'm looking at Ken too.
Yeah, the
Robusto.
Robusto is phenomenal.
I catch myself looking at Ken a lot.
I know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that is
he's smoking the
by the way.
1502
It is a Gary
Lancero over here.
Oh, he's tweeting
In the
about
black
it.
gold.
Twitter's
In the black
blowing
gold.
up.
Black gold.
In the black gold Lancero.
Nice.
How do you get that?
It was what they sent us.
I mean, I suppose if anyone got one, it's good. It's him,
Those
but
were
I
for
still don't want him to
those
get
were for
it.
the people. The first 20 people through the door got a free 1502 cigar tonight.
Yeah.
And that's for I didn't dip into that one because those were for our guests.
Brady,
There
did you
was-
smoke the Lancero too?
There was 20.
Yeah.
They were counting them. Yeah.
What'd you think?
Steve loves his Viaje Zombie. He's stealing them. He just walked away. He just
Is that a
stole
is he
another
smoking
one.
a red zombie or
A red zombie. He smoked a red zombie. He really, really liked it. Oh,
Wow.
cigars I give
He's
him.
come a
Mine
long
yet.
way with his
Well, he
palate.
said after all the cigars he smoked recently, he liked it. This one really stood out for him. So, we've been developing Steve's palate.
Andre's done good with
And
the
unfortunately,
Maduro
we're
pieces.
losing
He
him
really
now.
has.
I know.
Yeah, I know it. We're gonna have a big. Stay tuned. Big birthday bash.
Next week we're gonna have a big. We're gonna have something special for Expert Steve. Will, over to you for your next cigar, my friend. For
Send me
your first
samples.
cigar.
Okay, so I went and smoked a kind of a one from the past, which is the San Cristobal Classico. And it's a cigar I've always liked, and I hadn't revisited it in a while. This is the San Cristobal Classico is a Robusto 5x50 in the original San Cristobal blend that Don Pepin did for Ashton. It's a Nicaraguan Puro with a Corojo wrapper. And the one I actually picked up, I picked some up actually recently, but this one actually was one I had in the humidor since like 2010. So this one it was still in the cellophane. It had that yellow. On the cellophane.
Me and Mark had those. Good.
Yeah. And I know people like taking the cello off, but I love when it gets that amber on there. And I'll tell you what, 4 years and this cigar still holds up. It's a spice. It's got a lot of spices. I don't want to say it's a spice bomb, but it's got a lot of spices. It has a lot of what I call assorted spices. You get a little bit of that classic pepper, a little of that sweet baker spice, and you get a little bit of exotic spice in that. It's a lot. If you don't like spice, you're not gonna like this cigar.
61 years old, and farts are still funny.
That's not. That was him. I didn't fart. That was a toasted green.
But
Sorry. I tried to hold it together. I couldn't.
Ow.
Now Will's doing it. Now he can't hold it together either. What's your rating on that cigar?
box worthy,
Yes.
and here's the thing:
All day.
bell of the ball.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Robusto.
I
I don't
know.
know about
The
that.
bell of the ball.
I don't know about that.
I think we're gonna
Like
need
the solid
boxing. I
boxing.
think we're gonna need boxing
What's
gloves.
the perfecto called
What do you mean? What's the
in the San Cristobal?
Oh shit! I don't.
I wouldn't remember it. It's not.
No.
I hope
no.
it's not called "oh shit" because that's a bad name. For
We
a
already
size.
had shit.
I'll find it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we'll
Paul.
look that up. All right, I smoked a Royal Gold Kismet. This is the Dominican Puro that Alex Goldman was
Maestro.
talking about on the last show. I would say somewhere between mild and medium. I smoked it in the morning, knowing that when Alex was on the show, he described a lot of the strength profiles of his cigars as being medium. And after he described the cigar, I really wanted to try it. I actually picked this up along with a few other cigars that I'll talk about tonight at JR Cigars in Statesville, North Carolina, where I was last week. I wasn't in Statesville, but I drove there. JR's has the advantage of when I was with my son, who's 6, getting him to go to a cigar store, not always successful. I have to make trade-offs with him. There's a bartering system for him to accompany me to a cigar store. And JR's is kind of like this discount outlet, but they have toys here. So I had to bring up their website and show them they had toys. And I'm like, dude, if you come with me to the cigar thing at JR's, I'm like, we'll go shopping and I'll buy you a toy. And that worked out. He's like, yeah, let's go. He's like, I'm all in. So you know Braden. That's how
Yeah.
it works, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's any
So,
6-year-old,
yeah,
7-year-old.
exactly.
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
He's got to do his
Braden, Braden got a toy. And Daddy,
Paul did too, a blow-up doll.
Yeah, Daddy got some cigars. Braden got a cigar box. And one of the cigars I bought was this Kismet. And it was really good. I mean, that mild, medium strength profile, but like you were saying about that emerald, like full of flavor.
Oh, yeah.
It was a very flavorful cigar. I was impressed with it. I would put a 5 on it and put it in my rotation for a morning smoke for sure. This was the torpedo size, and I really liked it. I thought it was good.
Go ahead, Stogies Santa.
No, I'm fine.
Did you smoke this one? Anyone? Will?
This is the one I haven't smoked, and I do have it.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you picked up the Casino Gold HRS there.
Casino Gold HRS.
That's the other Royal Gold. That's one of the other blends on the
I
Royal
did not.
Gold.
You know,
That-
though, I picked up, and for some reason it didn't make it in my notes, and I'm glad you said this, was the The Griffin's Casino.
Oh, yeah.
That
We were talking
cigar,
about-
that cigar was awesome too.
Really?
Again, it was a medium profile, but full of flavor. I would say that outranks this cigar. That's a box split cigar. That cigar's awesome, awesome. Well, now the deal is you buy 20 in a box of the Griffin's Casino version. It's got a little more punch than some of the other Griffins that are really, really mild. Great flavors, awesome smoke. And you get one of the Maduros. What is the other one that comes in there, Will?
The Joker.
The Joker.
Yep.
I haven't smoked the Joker, but I was able to purchase the Casino Gold. The other one that's not in my list I didn't take a picture of, I'll talk about it here while I'm on my trip to JR's that I also bought at JR's, was a Partagas C. Fuentes. Now, before you all like scowl and go, what are you talking about,
What are you
Paul?
talking about, Paul?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a C. Fuentes limited reserve. It's not a Decadus, but it's similar limited release. There's a Cameroon wrapper. So I believe it's a C. Fuentes blend. In the second band on it says limited release in gold letters, Cameroon wrap cigar. It was awesome, awesome, awesome cigar. Probably the best thing I picked up when I was at JR's. Full of flavor, that Cameroon sweetness just comes and goes. It's got some complexity to it. I tell you what, if you find, and if you're not a big fan of the Partagas C. Fuentes blend, don't let that put you off. This limited release, limited edition, or limited reserve, it says on the band, is just awesome. They put a Cameroon wrapper on that blend, and it is a home run, hands down. So, Will, I mean, you're not far from JR's. Probably,
Right.
probably about an hour and a half drive. But next time you're in that area, dude, I'm telling you, you can buy singles of that
past the
limited
product.
reserve Partagas there.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
do
got
that.
Statesville's about an hour, a little over an hour from my house. But yeah, I know that they've actually, like I think I was telling you, the store's changed a lot.
It has. Their humidor was new.
In
since
terms
the
of what they
last one.
have there now.
Yeah, yeah.
You okay there,
inhaled.
dude?
Oh, I just.
What was
The
that?
smoke.
Did you
From?
just inhale my
I
exhale?
did. The smoke is just going right towards me because of the way the fan.
Which was that? From the back or the front?
Over to Mark Jr.
Both.
Paul came down to North Carolina and he brought some cigars with him, and I think he came back with like 3 times as many.
Pretty much.
Uh,
I had to
he
buy.
already
that-
had more when I saw him.
I had to buy. Get this. I had to buy another travel case to come back.
I know it.
Did you?
I picked up a Partagas 160. It's in a glass tube.
No, that's not.
No, it's not a Decadus.
No,
It's a Partagas
160.
160. So they did Partagas 150, which I never got a chance to try, and everyone said it was awesome. They got a Partagas 160. It comes in a glass tube. I haven't smoked that one yet. I'll do that on the next show. Mark Jr., we're on you. I'm going to try not to choke on that.
Okay.
second I smoked.
I smoked Arturo Fuente, Don Arturo, Gran Adversario, Destiny El Siglio, Robusto.
That is a mouthful.
Please don't ask me to repeat that.
Please repeat that.
No.
I didn't hear you.
It's a 5 3/4 by 52 Robusto. The blend is not really disclosed. These were fairly expensive cigars. I think they're like $25 or somewhere in that range. Is that right?
$20, $22, yeah.
I have to say, in the past, I've smoked these without the Destiny El Siglio secondary band on them, and I
Yeah.
thought they were sort of
They were not
not that great.
that great. I agree with your assessment.
This, on the other hand, was like friggin' awesome, right? The construction was flawless, which I did have problems with the other ones.
I did too.
It's not just you.
It's not just me. I
Not
was going to
just
say
you.
I had problems with them, but I didn't because it doesn't matter when I have problems with construction. The Churchills, I smoked 2 Churchills in this blend, and they smoked awesome.
Yeah, I only got the Robusto. I got 2 of the Robustos. I thought the flavors included like chocolate, cedar, a sweetness that reminded me sort of vanilla, roasted nuts, cream. This was a very complex cigar. I thought it kept, the spice kept ramping up as it went on.
Yeah.
This is a very, very high-end experience on this cigar. And if you see them, definitely try them. I say they're worth fighting Chuck Norris for.
Did you get any I got a cinnamon from this cigar. I know in your flavors you don't, and I smoked a different size, so there could be a size
I
difference.
did a
right?
Churchill. It was okay.
Really? See, I thought the Churchill was phenomenal.
Yeah,
got
I
a
thought the
cinnamon.
Churchill was good.
Maybe
but
the Robusto's better. I've got some of these Robustos.
I just got the Churchill. Never did the Robusto, so I can't compare.
Yeah. You guys didn't get the Robusto,
No.
right?
So did you do both?
No.
Coop, how about you?
The
Did you
Churchills were sold out before I got in.
Because I bought 10 of them.
I've not done the Churchill.
Did you really?
I think I bought 10 or 5.
You're a jackass.
Apparently, I have a reputation in
precedes
Rhode
you,
Island
yeah.
of buying. And look, Ken's over there shaking his head. I have a reputation.
Oh, Ken
now.
doesn't. Ken and Grady, they're the same way.
Our Fuente rep in North Carolina wants to meet all you guys.
Maybe.
He should.
Yeah.
He really does. When I was talking to him, yeah.
I have a reputation for buying up cigars and not letting anyone
Oh,
else buy 'em.
I'm not supposed to say anything. We're getting some other Opus X. Oh,
Oh,
that's
Easy.
right.
Easy
that's right.
now.
That's right.
can you
Well,
put
I'll talk to you later.
can you put a box aside for me?
No, I don't have any.
Stogie Santa, back to you.
Yes, I did the Padron 85 Natural.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
five-
want to say, ah,
A
All right,
five and a
sorry.
quarter by 50. We got a $20 price tag. The dry draw, I got a nice cedary, peppery type of components coming off. The first bit of the cigar, I found it was really prevalent. Now, again, these are, when I first came in the Maduro, I wasn't overly fond of them. I really wasn't. One of the few times I say that about the cigar. Now, Paul, he willed me to try this, and this is roughly maybe now a year old. I got that when I found the cedar was the forefront of the cigar in the beginning. The first bit of this, it was really nice. Okay, what I got lost here. Okay, and there was a lot of cedar. Follow the pepper and a slightly nutty flavor on the first third.
I got a lot of pepper too. The retro hell and the
Yeah,
pepper
it was
really
more- yeah.
bites you, punch you in the face.
Yeah, it does. But the second, the third, the flavors were the same, but I found it balanced out a lot better in the middle
Yes.
part of that
Yes.
cigar. And then this is the surprising part: is in the third end of that cigar, which I've never found in any other cigar that they made. I got a little creaminess.
Yeah, yeah.
I really did. I was drinking black coffee with it, and it's like someone put a little splash of milk in there. It really was. It wasn't maybe 2 minutes into the cigar, and it was gone. It was like the most unique thing I've ever had off a Padron, and I really enjoyed it. It's as usual. You look at the cigar; it's one of the ugliest looking Padrones. It really is. It's veiny, dry looking.
Yeah, that
it
wrapper,
really
yeah,
was.
yeah.
The wrapper really didn't do a whole lot, as expected. The construction was phenomenal. I know it's only boxes of 10. Being $20, I give it a box split.
I'd give it a box worthy. I thought that transition from that blast of pepper into that sweet creaminess was
Something
was
tells
special.
me though that with this year, something did something with it. I can't compare it. Did you do this right out of the box at all, Coop?
Yeah, and I was disappointed when it was right out of the box.
Yeah.
I think I scored it like 87, 88, and I agree. It went for the better when I've had it recently.
No.
I smoked it when it came out. Yeah.
Am I out of my mind saying a little creaminess at the back end of that cigar?
Oh no, yeah.
You got
No,
that?
no,
I
you're
got
right.
that too. Yeah. No.
Okay. Did you anyone else ever get a creaminess off a Padron before?
No, it was very unique.
Yeah, I
It
was
was
like,
a unique cigar, but especially in terms of Padron, it was a super unique cigar. For me.
right. And I just, like I said, the Maduro, I was not really. I'm going to go back and do the Maduro now, and I can compare the two because it just that.
It's a great point. After a year, I'm curious to see what that Maduro.
Yeah, because usually anniversarios, for the most part, are right out of the box is what you get, and when you age it, it loses it.
Yeah.
Not all, but some. But like
the
I said,
46s got better. The 46s got better with age, I thought.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think these 85ths are going to age well. I think even out beyond a year, they're going to continue to age really, really
Right.
But
well.
as a general rule, I agree with you, Stogie Santa.
it really does. I mean, the regular line, the 1000 series line, they age phenomenal. They really
Oh,
are.
no.
I think they're just as good as an anniversario with like 3 to 5 years of age.
I'm curious to see what we think is the natural versus Maduro in this 85th when they have a year of age on them.
So I'm really I'm glad you told me to revisit this. It was one of my, let's put it this way, one of my favorite naturals that they do.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
agree.
very happy with it.
Will, back to you.
I went and reached for another cigar that I hadn't reached for in a while. It was the Macanudo Epic, the vintage 2007, and the Toro. When that cigar came out, that was one of the new Monte Cristos Altadas came out with in 2012. I really loved that cigar, and it was a cigar.
Did you say Macanudo? Did you say
Monte
Macanudo?
Cristo.
No, Monte Cristo, the
I
epic.
thought you said Macanudo.
No, maybe I did. Did I?
I think you did. Oh, well. No big deal.
whatever.
Okay. Right, so it's got an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and it's got vintage fillers that are Nicaraguan and Dominican. I really loved that cigar when it came out, and then when I guess I put some away, and I've gotten some inconsistency on them. Some have just smoked better than others. Sometimes I get them, and they just were really blah. Like there was just, I don't know what happened, but other ones have smoked really good. This is one of the ones that happened to smoke really good. It had some cocoa, had natural tobacco. I picked up a little of that Dominican grass note in that cigar, and of course some pepper. It's a very smooth cigar when that cigar is on, and when it's off, it's just not smooth. I gave it a box split this time. You know, if they were consistent, I'd say they're box worthy, but it's been hit or miss with some of these that have been sitting in my humidor. I did buy a box of them when they came out, because I really liked it so much. I smoked the Toro, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. And I think the Toro is probably, I don't want to say it's the belle of the ball, but it's probably one of the better sizes of that blend.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the Monte Cristo Epic?
Yes.
The Epic.
I picked up a Robusto at JR's, and I haven't smoked it yet.
I'm curious. Like I said, I've been inconsistent with them. This one I smoked
that's
this was
the
really
problem.
good.
I did.
It's not a cheap cigar either. That's
no,
why.
no,
it's
and I
not.
did. Like I said, I did all the different sizes. I agree with if the
You
Toro
gave us a pretty good sampling, and your ratings were not as high as Coop on this one.
No, because I can't agree. I must have got all the ones that weren't up to par to a Coop's.
You had Paul syndrome.
No. It's just the flavor. It was like
The flavor was inconsistent.
It's super. No, there was not an inch of wrong. All right, 3-3. I know what you're saying, Coop. They did very well in the store. They did very, very well. So, like, I do agree with the Toro, what you're saying, but I never got that one that really wanted me to go back. So I smoked about 5 of the Vitolos in different sizes, and it just wasn't something. Maybe I'll go back and see what happens one
Like
more
I said,
time.
some of them have been misses. When I've had it, some of them just like I just don't want to smoke through them sometimes. But the other ones, this one happened to be really good.
Yeah, because Paul seems to agree with you, Paul Joyle. When we were at the show, I wasn't in agreement with him, and he brought him in. He thought they were absolutely. He loved them. He really did. So there's got to be something there. There has to be something. You're not the only one.
Okay.
So he really loved that cigar.
I was actually cringing when I wrote this because I was like, "Is Stogie Santa gonna think I'm on crack or something?" I was like,
I did.
He did. I showed him that before the show, and he pretty much said exactly that.
Yeah. I said, wow. I said, usually if we're off by a little bit.
But we were.
Yeah,
you were
I
off by a
just
lot
didn't
on
get that one. Hey, it happens.
right.
I smoked a La Polina, and I for the life of me, I can't remember which one that I smoked. Does
El
anyone
Diario, I think it was.
That's what I told him.
Is that the El Diario?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
This was kind of a medium-bodied cigar. It had great flavor. I smoked it earlier on in the day. It paired really well with coffee. I would say this was a try one. A little bit of Paul syndrome kind of kicked in, and I had to keep relighting it and wrapper cracked on it and stuff, which for a cigar at this price point, I tend to not have patience for. But the flavors on this cigar were there, and it's something that I want to revisit, and that's why it kind of earned the try one rating. So that's my La Polina.
La Polina, I'll tell you what. Call me a shill, but that Goldie number 5. I've
Is
heard
that the one
some,
with the pigtail?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pricey cigar, and I tell you, I've heard some people not like it, and I don't get it. I really don't.
No, I think that's a fantastic cigar.
I think
It's great, but
it's
the two is even
phenomenal.
better.
It's phenomenal.
Zero.
Yep, they did a great job with that. And the other one, it was funny. The Allison, thank you. The Allison or the Goldie number 5, 2 different cigars. Which one do you like, Coop, out of the 2?
The Goldie number 5.
Me
but
too.
It's close.
It's close, but I just say it's more unique flavor on that number 5. And the Allison has more strength by a long shot, I think.
I'm going to get in trouble for probably saying it, but there's been a lot of inconsistencies. When those
Yep.
Allisons came out, I was like one of the first people to jump on the bandwagon with that cigar. But the quality went downhill.
The construction was.
And Bill knows it. Yeah, Bill Pelly knows it.
I just want to take a break here. This 1502 Black Gold, I tell you what, the last third,
Was fantastic.
the best part of the cigar,
Same thing.
hands down.
I'm telling you
Oh
that
my God,
that
hands
last
down.
third of that
Yeah.
of that emerald. I'm telling you.
Mark, you smoked right down to
That-
the nub. And I
I'm
tell you what, I got in the last third, and I'm like, I don't want to put this thing
I'm
out.
going on
No
a limb
way.
here. That is one of the best mild cigars I've had in a long,
You'd have to
long
pry this
time.
from my dead hands to get me to stop smoking this.
I can see why that's because that Emerald. Again, I don't think Grady's had it. Ken's had it. Ken likes full bodies. He likes everything, and he was raving about it. Mark Jr. says, "Wait," he said the same thing.
I haven't
And
smoked the
I'm
Emerald
telling
yet.
you, boy, oh boy,
This 1502 is
it's
it's
really
really good
can't wait
stuff,
to,
man.
No, has anyone had anyone had the Ruby yet?
I did the Ruby Perfecto and I loved it.
They're
So
all good.
everyone's
They're all
saying
good.
Perfecto, huh? The
He's
Perfecto's
really onto
the
something,
biggie?
This kid.
Well, that's what they said. That's what they sent.
Yeah.
They sent us a sampling initially, just out of the blue. They sent us a sampling, and I just happened to pick the Ruby one to smoke, not really knowing much about the blends. And I did on the show. I gave it a great review.
I'm not going to look up real quick. Coop, you or Ken maybe know or at the top of the head. Price range on just quickly on the Rubies. I mean, what's that, like a 6 to 8?
These
$9?
Toros,
6 to 8.
These Toros I bought were around $8, $9.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah, they really, like I said, they really have, caught on in Charlotte. I think they may be the most successful brand right now in the Charlotte market under House of Amelia.
And
they have really taken off.
And I love the answer that Enrique gave us. Is that
maybe.
down the line he will do that because he's smart enough to realize you build on that core line is going to carry you to the next step.
He really is, and he's been smart about doing line extensions, and he's not releasing a whole batch of line extensions. He's doing them slowly and introducing them, and I've liked that as well.
Mark Jr., I think we're on you.
Fair enough. I smoked the Illusion MK. So, I actually just smoked another MK today, right? So this one was from 2011. It has the white and black band.
Yep.
I smoked one today from 2008 that has the white and gold band.
That's the
now,
one.
Paul, that was in yours.
Yep.
That's in
Stogie
mine.
Santa's smoking one right now.
And I got that in mind.
Stogie Santa gave me.
Interesting how the
gave me
MK kind
one
of made
today.
its way around
Wow,
the local
how'd that
Stogie
make
Geeks
out, huh?
crew here.
So,
Yeah, I was wondering.
I got to send some down to you, Coop.
Yeah.
Are
We've been doing some MK sampling.
Oh.
So I'm curious, what do you think of this one?
So
Love it.
I thought this 2011 was fantastic. Literally right from the beginning, it was just awesome in terms of flavors. It had this first of all, when you smelled it, it smelled like musty barnyard.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Hockey bag.
Right.
I said it was a dirty locker room.
Yeah, a hint of hockey bag. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
me
like
and
a
Stogie
hockey
Santa
bag.
like to giggle about. But that's obviously in a good way. The barnyard was prevalent in the flavor profile as well. It had some earth, spice, and sweetness. The strength was toned down some since it has some age on it, but it really contributed to the overall balance of the cigar. I thought it really encourages me to have some proof as to what this cigar can do at some age. I say this cigar is box worthy all day. I will say that the 2008 is also box worthy, but it seems to be a different cigar to me.
Oh, that's I'm going to come. Where because I agree with that assessment, and I'll go over to the MK White Label, which is 2008.
I won't steal your thunder because I know you want to talk about it,
Yeah.
but it just seems like a very different cigar to me.
There's no the biggest prevalence between those cigars in Nicaraguan flavor. That earthy flavor is so much in tune on the 2011.
Yes.
Big difference. On the 2008, right, the first third I got a coffee, slight hints of cinnamon, a touch of creaminess, and a pepper on the retrohale, right? I didn't get that earthiness, and I think this is even toned down a little bit more from the regular MK. The second half, the creaminess develops with a lot more, and I get a nutty, and instead of coffee, when I say the espresso flavors on this cigar, I found not that you're going to anything thin ring Vitola, you're going to smoke slowly. You have to smoke these with deliberance, because if you don't, that espresso you can almost mistake as a bitter taste when you're drawing on it too hard. You got to be careful with. That's what I found, especially on these two cigars. It's almost like a Lancero. Take your time. Don't power through it. I don't even power through a cigar anyway. But the third flavor, the third half of this, which doesn't have in the
third
MK,
half.
a third.
Did
the
you have two
final,
of them?
I know it. The final third, I got a leather, which again in that cinnamon spice. And then finally, a little bit, not even close to the amount of earthiness that's on the black label. The changes are very slight, but again, two totally different cigars, medium body at best, and it's a box-worthy cigar all day long. Both of them are unique and different, and I'll tell you, these cigars are smoking phenomenal. And you're looking at $7.50. Dion just did a phenomenal
I
job.
also think this is the bell of the ball in terms of the original core line illusion.
Oh, yeah.
The MK is the
Oh, yeah,
best in my
the
opinion.
teaching machine. So
And I tell you what, that Corona size that he puts out in all his MK.
Yeah, whether it's the Ultra or the regular. I think
he
it's
just amped
awesome.
up the Ultra tremendously compared to this.
Stogie, saying it back to you.
I just did the white. Back to a coupe.
Okay. I smoked a pre-release of a cigar that's about to hit the shelves. It's Sam Lechia's Lechia Luchador, which is I don't know if you've seen that cigar. It's an interesting cigar. It's a tribute to Mexican wrestling. I guess Sam was a wrestling fan, and it's got like this Mexican wrestling mask as the band. It's actually kind of cool.
Like Nacho Libre.
Yeah, Nacho.
With Jack
That's
Black.
what I was thinking of. Yes.
Love that.
Exactly.
Nacho Libre.
And of course, it has a San Andreas Mexican wrapper on it, which I'll talk about. It has an Ecuadorian Habano binder, and it has fillers from Ometepe, Esteli, Pennsylvania Ligero, and Jamastran Ligero. Now, Ligero is a real important component to this. I smoked the El Hombre, which is the 5x54 Robusto. Now, when Sam Lechia, have you guys smoked any of Sam's stuff since he started his own company?
Yeah, I did the white and the black.
Okay. They're a departure from what he did with Kane. There's no question about it. He kind of went away from some of those powerhouse cigars he did with Kane, and he kind of got away from that. And I was kind of wondering what the Luchador would do. Now, when they announced this cigar, it was very interesting. They said it goes from sweet to spice in 0 to 60. And this couldn't be more true.
Really?
I mean, the first half of the cigar, it's really sweet. You're going to get...
when you're saying sweet, like a tobacco sweetness?
Yeah, tobacco sweetness.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, the first half has that tobacco sweetness. You're getting a little... It's a kind of a Maduro sweetness, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It's really and a little bit of that rich coffee note in there, and then around like that midway point, it just makes a 180, and this becomes a real spice machine.
Wow!
And it has a little bit of that pungency that the Mexican wrapper can deliver, but it was still very flavorful. I don't think it suffocated the blend, but you definitely got some of that Mexican pungency there, and the strength kicked up as well. So the second half of that cigar reminded me of a Sam Lechia cigar of old. The first half kind of reminded me of what Sam had done recently. I think it's I think it's a good release by Sam. I liked how the cigar transitioned like that. It was a pre-release, so I didn't give it a score, but I'd say it's probably going to somewhere between a 5 and a box split. I probably lean a little more towards the 5 right now.
And again, I lost. What was? Excuse me, Coop. What was the tobaccos in there again? I forgot.
Okay, it's a San Andreas Mexican wrapper.
Yeah.
It has a Ecuadorian Habano binder.
Yeah.
And it's got fillers from Ometepe. It's got Viso from Esteli, and it's got Ligero from Pennsylvania and Jamastran, Honduras.
Wow, got some high primings in there.
Oh yeah, and Sam, it was an interesting point. What they talked about as well is not only do they have some high priming Ligeros in there, but they have a lot of volcanic tobaccos in there, namely the San Andreas, the Ecuador, and the Ometepe. He kind of put 3 components of a volcanic tobacco, I guess, not necessarily for strength, but for flavor, get some of those rich tobaccos. It's a really good blend. I liked it a lot. And I think the aging potential on this is even better. They weren't young by any means, but they're going to get better. I think, like I said, for me to kind of be positive on a San Andreas cigar.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, so I liked it. It's a cigar I look forward to smoking some of the other sizes that are well. Thanks to the folks at Tarano who gave me a sample of that.
Thanks to our good friend Will Cooper, I smoked the W. Curtis Draper 127th anniversary Tatuaje limited edition.
Oh, I got to hear about this.
I want. Okay, that's
Double
still my
Corona.
thumb.
We've all smoked it.
I haven't smoked it yet.
Is this the first? Did you review this on the show, Will?
Yeah, I did, and I go ahead because you and I agree on a big point about that cigar.
This is the best double Corona I've had in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
Bingo.
thinking about it. We don't often utter the words double Corona when we're talking about cigars.
Bingo.
Now, we smoke a lot of smaller cigars, different size cigars, but the double Corona size, it's not something that they're branding a lot of cigars that are coming out now. and this was an easy-to-smoke double Corona, right?
That's the best way you could put it.
Yeah, it burned quickly enough where it didn't get hot, but it had awesome flavors. It was mild to medium in the beginning, even not mild, maybe medium.
Medium,
in the beginning. And then it amped up in strength on the final third, and I just loved it. And I called it a box split with a friend because this was, as far as large cigars go, this is a 7 5/8 by 52, one of my favorites. And I know, Mark Jr., you're not. Large cigars aren't always in your smoking rotation, but this one is one that you can latch on to, dude.
Trust
and,
me, I agree
you.
because Ken, we both look at the cigar, and I looked at the size of it, and I'm saying,
Oh, yeah, you get turned off.
I got turned off.
God,
but if anything, this has nothing to do with flavor. It was the easiest, the best way to put it. After 2 hours, I didn't care.
No,
it's just
it's easy to smoke.
It was really
and
I
for
didn't
me
think I was
to have
gonna
a good construction experience, and you and Will as well, really says something.
And
I wonder if that
wanna-
means I got the fucked up one.
maybe you got the 1%.
Shit.
You got the Paul
Syndrome.
syndrome.
I'll smoke mine for next week.
There you go. You should, man. You like it.
I will.
I thought it was fantastic.
And I think this has got great aging potential too.
Yep.
I think it's going to change up.
Great
Quite a bit.
construction.
I wish that was the JV13 release. Is all I kept thinking. I
Good
wish that was
point.
a-
Good point. Yeah.
Excellent observation. Excellent observation.
When I smoked it, I knew you guys. I had a feeling you guys would like it. I loved it. I
loved it too. Yep.
But
I go
yeah.
box worthy more than box split. It's only 10.
I'd get on that. Because it was so easy to smoke.
I have no idea what Pete based that blend off of, other than it's an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. So I don't know what he did with it.
It's a beautiful wrapper too. The cigar just
The
looks
Ecuadorian
awesome.
Habano, it's just got so much flavor.
Yep.
And I tell people, when you see that Tatuaje band with the limited and the stripes,
Yeah.
snatch them because they usually don't come back.
Yep.
So I'm hoping maybe they'll come back with this one, but I don't know.
Mark Jr., back to you.
I smoked a cigar that Coop inspired me to smoke. I smoked the 601 La Bomba Warhead.
Love that.
It's a 6.5 by 54 box press Toro. Cigar. I linked in my Stogies feed to Cigar's review back in November. He thought very highly of it, so I figured that with the fact that I've sort of been on the 601 kick since Eric was on the show. I thought this cigar was really very good, to be honest with you. I thought it had tons of flavor, coffee, cocoa, pepper, spice. It had a nice tangy sweetness. I thought the strength really ramped up nicely throughout the smoke and ended as a full strength smoke. It wasn't as strong as the Sake Bomb, but it was definitely not for the faint-hearted. I think I would give this cigar a box split, in my opinion. I know that's a $5 in this case, but I thought it was just a very good cigar, very, very solid cigar, and I think Eric's onto something.
He did a great job with that that full-bodied, really strong cigar being really, really flavorful.
Yeah, the Sake Bomb was
The
phenomenal.
Sake Bomb is probably the smoothest, strong cigar
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
ever
I
smoked
know.
in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
You know, I said, this is what do you mean? This ain't strong. And I said, whoa.
Oh yeah, I felt it after the show.
My leg. Yeah, me too. I was
I was like mowing
Ruh-roh.
pizza. I was mowing pizza after that show.
oh, I felt like my legs were.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I thought about that. Remember Eric, one of his blenders who smokes 15 cigars a day?
Yeah.
I don't know what cigar he's smoking. He said, oh, this is nothing. And he tried to get, that's what
Tried to
reminded
get
me
up,
of.
Yep.
I don't know if it
Stogie
was,
Santa, what else you got on your list?
I did 4. We stole the thunder on the double Corona, so I'm going to listen to the rest of you gentlemen.
Okay. Will?
Okay, so I got a chance to smoke this week the Viaje Plata Lancero. That was one of the Andre Farkas, who was on the show, broke news of for the first time to the world on Stogie Geeks. So it was one of the 3 trifecta Lanceros that packed together, but this is the new blend of it. It's a 7.5 by 40 Lancero. I don't know much about the blend. Andre's been pretty quiet about it, but I'm assuming it's got a healthy heaping of Nicaraguan tobacco. Now, when Andre was on the show, he described the Plata to us as something that would bridge between Platino and Oro. He actually sent me an email before I reviewed this, and he said, well, I might have misspoke a bit. it more or less filled a void that he felt was left by Plata and Oro, in that he wanted something to be more of a milder offering. And I definitely agree with that. By Viaje standards, this is a medium strength, medium body cigar. It is not. It's not going to be one of those in your face ones, but I love this cigar. Cocoa, natural tobacco. It had that sweet baker spice, a lot of sweetness to this thing. And I'll tell you, the construction was there. There was no construction issues. No Paul syndrome. No youngness to this cigar, in my opinion. So I know, Paul, you have one of them.
I do. I haven't smoked it
yeah,
yet.
So let's put it like this: I picked a few up, and I had some cash in my wallet, and didn't want to throw it on the credit card. Hide it under the radar. I went back, and they were gone, and because the store only got one box, and I was really bummed because I wanted to get more of these. So I'm hoping it comes back, but it's box worthy if I take the Plata and consider that a box. But I'm curious to see what you guys think of it. Like I said, it's not an in-your-face Viaje by any means.
I really want to try it. I tried to get it from a couple different places that sold out before I could
like
get
I
my
said,
hands on it.
I picked up a few, and I meant to pick up more, and I thought they had more than one box. They only got one trifecta box, this retailer.
I smoked a lot of the Debonair Seguitas.
Yep.
And I did the Salamone. And I realized I hadn't gone back and smoked the Bellicoso or the Toro. So I did that this week. And I'll start with the Bellicoso. Great cigar. To me, what stood out was the complexity and the transitions. And it makes a very sharp transition from almost medium-bodied when that Bellicoso starts off and it ends a super full cigar. Very Padron-like in the way it makes that transition, and I know Stogies loves that transition. Making a sharp transition and ending in a full-bodied cigar. I think it has great aging potential. Hence, the rating of a box split is where I would put the Bellicoso. And Stogies, some like you may prefer this one over others in the line, and I think it depends on your taste and what your profile and what you want to smoke. For me, I dig the Toro, and I smoked the Toro this week, and I tell you what, it doesn't finish as strong as the Bellicoso, and I think that's a size thing, right? Because that Bellicoso tapers, whereas the Toro doesn't. It's a regular Parejo, and for me, the Toro starts out with medium-bodied, ends a little fuller, right? But I really like smoking the Toro, which is interesting because in some of the other lines I've smoked, I've been kind of digging the Toro size. And I would rate the Toro box worthy along with the Seguida. Now, the Salamone, only because it's not an everyday smoke, I would say is a box split. They come in boxes of 10. I'd like to have 5 of those Salamones. And a lot of it stems from what you described, Stogies, as one of the best complements to a cigar blender. And that's when you smoke one of these Debonair cigars, and I really feel maybe Seguida doesn't fall in this category because it's so small, but the Toro, the Salamone, and the Bellicoso, to me, when you smoke that cigar, when you finish, I'm satisfied. I don't want to smoke anything else after that. I'm just. It's been a journey. It's ended in a nice full flavor profile for me. And man, I'm done. I'm done after I smoke any of those 3 sizes. Seguidas I might be able to go back to back because they're so good.
I just love the right in the middle of that cigar is just that au jus sauce. Oh my God!
It makes at least 3 very distinct change-ups in that Bellicoso. Maybe not as many. Maybe 2 distinct changes in the Toro. And these are just great cigars. I think that all of these sizes that Phil makes have fantastic aging potential. And I think they're all going to go to Chuck Norris or Oasis with age on them. I mean, this tobacco, he has picked some of the most rich tobacco with great strength, awesome construction, and great flavors that are going to age really, really well. I think he's got the magic combination there.
This you talk about, I mean, Phil's been around the market for a long time in different areas, no doubt, well known. But this particular blend is, I think, each and every day is just getting bigger and bigger, not just every month or every 6 months. Everyone that picks it up, like I said, the belly's not for everybody. I know what you're saying. But that cigar is just, it's close. It's close to the bell of the ball. Close.
In the Bellicoso, in your opinion?
Yeah, close. Yep.
So he did a great job with all these cigars.
Bell of the ball on his Vitolas, but not quite the total bell of the ball yet.
you got to try this cigar, and again, it's very satisfying to smoke once you're done. You want to end your cigar day, I think, with one of the Debonaires, and you won't be disappointed in any way, shape, or fashion. Now, Will, which size you bought a box of these, right? Which size did you pick up?
I picked up some Sagitas, but
Okay.
I got a sampler pack from Stogies Santa of each of them.
Okay.
I have not smoked the Robusto or the Salomon yet.
Oh,
Salmon.
I haven't smoked the Robusto yet.
I haven't either. That's the only one I haven't smoked.
Was really good, but it's just not my favorite Vitola in that size.
Okay.
It's still an enjoyable smoke. Don't get me wrong. By all means, for a Robusto, if you're a Robusto lover, you'll love it. It's Vitola specific. If you love Robustos, you're gonna love that cigar. And I'm not even a belly smoker. I'm not. That's not my favorite
Me
side.
neither.
You know,
Me neither.
I
But
don't
it's
get
your
it.
favorite in the
Least
line.
one I'd reach
Yeah.
for, and I'm surprised how good the belly was.
Right. I mean, that's the same thing. I mean, a different cigar, different thing. Here I go again. I can't help it. Same thing with Skip Martin. I'm going to throw it out there again when he did the Perfecto. Not my favorite. You know, is it something I always reach for? No. But when someone picks out a blend and just nails it, I mean, 5-star, where you just wait, gentlemen. I mean, I didn't even. How's this? I thought I waited a week thinking about, well, do I really want to pass these out? But I had to. I know that Skip would want everyone to enjoy these cigars, and that cigar, that Mode 5, same thing. Reminds me of different cigars, but what I'm trying to say is that when you're not going to Vitola that specifically that you smoke and you smoke these things, and it makes this kind of impression on you, it's incredible.
My recommendation with Debonair is to smoke all the different sizes, determine which one you like the best.
Right.
And definitely pick up a box because
that's for any cigar.
Yeah, and not only
any
is
cigar
it a great
manufacturer.
cigar, right? It's got great aging potential.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
And you can, again, stogiegeeks.com/Debonair.
Right.
Find where you can purchase those bad boys.
Yep.
Mark
see
Jr.,
me.
back to you.
My last cigar of the week
I wanna see what it
was I smoked a Cabaguan Guapos Natural in the RX, the Robusto size. I reached for this because, he has that Lancero sampler coming out.
Right.
And there's going to be both Cabaguan Guapos in there, the natural and the Maduro. And it had been really a long time since I've smoked a Cabaguan Guapos. I think the Cabaguans you had weren't Guapos. Were
No.
They
No,
were
they
just
weren't.
the regular Cabaguan.
Cabaguan,
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I'm talking this has got to be 3 years since I've had a Guapos. So I thought the stick had flavors of coffee and some roasted nuts. It also had a slight earthy flavor. Ken.
I know that water's getting to him.
That's
Come on,
That's
Ken.
vodka. That's vodka in there.
Vodka in the water. Good job, Ken. Oh, no one's better.
It also had a slight earthy flavor. The stick was medium in body, slightly less in strength. Overall, I didn't find the cigar to be very complex, but was nice nonetheless. I'd say it was worth a $5.
I think that's a great assessment. But I don't think that particular blend gets enough love.
I agree.
I'm not saying it's a box. I agree totally with that assessment. It's a 5-year-old day long, but everyone just seems, I mean, it's Maduro. That is a great switch up and change. Don't you agree?
Yes. I think, I'm going to expand upon your point that it doesn't get enough love. The only blend that he did that does not say Tatuaje on it, that has gotten the due that it deserves, is the original Triunfador Lanceros. The La Riquezas were overlooked. These Guapos were overlooked. Yep. And it's a shame because they are really, really good cigars.
Yep, I agree. Good line. I can't.
Will, back to you.
Okay. The last one I smoked was I know last week we talked about some of the Las Serenas Merlions. I managed to pick up one of the Merlion in the C line in that special Maduro, which is the bonus cigar. So instead of the Ecuadorian wrapper, they put a San Andreas Maduro wrapper on it. It's got a Brazilian Sumatra binder, and it's got fillers from Brazil, Dominican Republic, and Nicaragua. And it's at 5.5 by 47 Perfecto. It's a pricey little stick, $12.95. But I was, being the stogie geek I am, I had to try it because it's something, hard to get. The first half of the cigar was good. It had some nice flavors. The coffee had what I term an espresso syrup, meaning it kind of weighed a little heavy on the palate. That's what I kind of refer to as like an espresso and a little bit of sweetness to it. The second half was kind of very pungent. It was, but not like the Luchador where the spice increased. The pungency just overwhelmed this blend in the second half. Something I'm kind of critical of the San Andreas wrappers doing. It was the flavors were actually full body, but I actually thought this cigar could have used a little more strength. I didn't think it had enough. It was just there was. It just needed a little more oomph, I think, to it as well. I got it as a try one because, like I said, if you're a stogie geek and you want to try something different, give it a try and see what you think. Some folks may disagree with me when it comes to this wrapper, but try one. I have it as.
Mm-hmm.
I smoked an Avo Mistosos Tubo. This is a slightly larger size of the Avo XO blend that I'm a fan of. I like the Avo XO blend. This one, though, had some plume on it, which is interesting. It kind of got me thinking. A lot of the cigars
Did it
that
help
come
much?
no, well, let me get to that. A lot of cigars that come in tubes tend to develop plume sooner than I think cigars that don't come in tubes. And I think that has to do with it maintaining a higher level of humidity, maybe, that turns those oils into plume. I don't know what the magic is, but ones that come in tubes or the cedar sleeves, I find develop plume sooner than ones that don't. I don't know.
Well, okay.
In any case, this is a larger Vitola, probably like a Toro or Churchill size cigar. And in this larger size, I want to caution everyone, if you don't like that herbal grassy flavor, don't go for this size. Because this one really, it hit me with a blast of that herbal grassy flavor in the beginning and crossed my threshold for tolerance of that herbal grassy flavor. It settled down after that, after the first third, and didn't have as much of that herbal grassy flavor. I would rate this one as a try one. That's my assessment of this one. I like the smaller little petite Corona, short Corona size in the XO blend. Doesn't have that grassy flavor at all from the first time.
Did you smoke that whole cigar?
I did smoke the whole thing because that grassy herbal went away after the first third.
Okay.
But it just wasn't as good as some of those smaller sizes. So even the Robusto size that comes in the tube, it wasn't as good as those.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Will, was that your last one? I did the Illusion.
No, that's one.
I did the Illusion MK as well. I want to say this is the older one.
It's the 08.
2008.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 08. First two-thirds of the cigar were awesome. The finish wasn't as strong, but I tell you what, the one thing that stood out for me for this cigar was flavor. I mean, it hit you in the face with flavor in those first two-thirds, and that Corona size was awesome. I said fiver. I'd put it in my rotation as a fiver.
Mm-hmm.
Those first two-thirds were great.
Oh, I'd say that's box worthy.
Yeah, me too.
The one cigar that really was very interesting for me this week was an Ashton Cabinet Selection No. 1 Connecticut Perfecto. This is a 9x52 Perfecto. It is gigantic. By far the largest cigar I've smoked in some time. And I got Paul syndrome on this one, and it had a tight draw. And I thought at first, I'm like, well, it's a Perfecto, right? So I'm going to have to work a little to get it started. And I cut it once, and I started smoking it. And then I cut it again, a little more off, to get a better draw. And I started to get past the Perfecto end. And then I cut it a third time to see if I can get a little more. And I smoked maybe a little beyond the first third, and my jaw hurt so freaking bad. I had to put it in the ashtray. I'm like, I can't. This Vitola retails anywhere between $18 and $20, and it's supposed to be a fantastic smoke. And I was disappointed. My jaw. I think I still have a headache from smoking this one because my jaw hurting so bad. So, if you don't get Paul syndrome on this one, you're probably going to be a little over a try one, which is what I rated it, because the flavors weren't all that bad. It was just the construction that did me in this one. It's a beautiful looking stick. If you look at my picture of it, the wrapper is beautiful. It's an Ecuadorian wrapper. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you like gigantic Vitolas, this may be one to try. Hopefully you have better luck with construction than I did. I was kind of upset that the draw was snug on this one, but Very interesting Vitola. Not one you hear talked about very much, just because of the sheer size. It's interesting. It looks to me like it's the same exact Vitola. It probably uses the same molds as the Hemingway Masterpiece, but it's in the Ashton Cabinet Blend.
Mhm.
Have any of you guys ever smoked this one?
No.
Have you smoked a Masterpiece before?
Yes.
Maduro
Yes.
or Cameroon? The Maduro is good in that one.
Yeah.
Really good. But construction, when we talk about construction and you talk about it in a large Vitola, it is so key in a large Vitola, because especially one that's a Perfecto, the construction has to be spot on. I also smoked an El Rey del Mundo Perfecto. Will, I couldn't find any more information about this one. I know a lot of these are in your local area. I picked this one up at JR's as well. I rated this one as a try one. There's a lot of Honduran tobacco in there. It was a good cigar. Not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Didn't have a whole lot going on as far as complexity goes. It kind of presented that little bit of earth Honduran flavor for me throughout the smoke. The size was really cool. It was a little Perfecto size. Well, I couldn't find any information about this one online, and like I said, I picked it up at JR's. So I don't know if in your travels you want to find out more information about it. I couldn't find it
thought it was
anywhere.
a Sumatra on that wrapper.
And some of the fillers are Honduran in a lot of those other El Rey del Mundos. They do use different wrappers.
Yeah. I thought one of them was a Sumatra, and there is, I think, you're right, an Oscuro as well.
Yeah.
Is it what did you think of this? I remember a lot. I remember that was a stronger cigar, and a long time since I smoked them more frequently.
Yeah, it's a notch above medium, and the price point is just around $5, so it's a very reasonable priced cigar, and JR's is one of the big retailers for El Rey del Mundo, in terms of the non-Cuban version of El Rey del Mundo. Again, it's a try one. So with that, we'll fill some time until Chris gets back before we cut to the next segment.
What did you guys light up for your second smoke?
I lit up the Viaje Zombie, the red labeled, and I tell you what, it's awesome.
I'm gonna have to trade you something for one of the greens and the reds.
There's tons of flavor in this cigar. It's got it's got a little bit of punch to it. Construction's good on it. Smoking good for me. I really, really like it.
I lit up I had that Emerald, which is definitely, it's not a very, I went for a lot more strength, so I went for an LFD double Lajero.
Nice. Excellent. And with that, we will take a short break, come back with our very special segment for this show. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the Stogie Geek Show.